Well, hi there. This is Ginger Bell, and I am here today with Andrew Vierra, who is a VA home loan specialist. And Andrew, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. But first of all, I want to thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about your company and where you're located.
So my company is WealthWise Mortgage Planning, and we are in Folsom, California, which is, we're just 20 miles east of Sacramento, if you can picture where Sacramento is,
right?
East of San Francisco. And we're on the way as you start to climb the grade to go into South Lake Tahoe. So we're at South Lake Tahoe is about an hour and 20 minutes east of us.
Perfect. And so you're with WealthWise Mortgage Planning and VA Home Loans of California.com.
VALoansofCalifornia.com. Right. That's our website that we built that's dedicated
Perfect.
to veterans and the VA home loan benefit. Right.
So I mean, let's talk about that, because obviously, you know, one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is the focus of VA and the home loan opportunity. You know, for me, I recently had the opportunity to co-produce a documentary for Folds of Honor, and Folds of Honor provides education in the way of scholarship to the families of wounded and fallen soldiers that have served. And so I have a great respect for the military, but I myself have not served. And so I always love hearing stories as to, you know, how people got involved in so much as far as specializing in VA. So can you share, you know, what got you so focused on being able to really serve our service members?
Yeah, I get that question a lot because, like you, I did not serve. I have
Right.
a family who served, you know, I have uncles who served and cousins who served Korea, Vietnam. And it started kind of, my prior career was in advertising. I was 18 years in radio and television advertising sales, and learned a lot about marketing and positioning and sales and what have you. And when I got into loans in 2005, it was the wild, wild west of loans. And there was lots of loan products out there. And when you get in, there's lots to learn. And you kind of hear about all these different loan products, but you're not really sure what they all are. And so as they come up, you learn about them. And it was kind of a fluke. The very first VA loan I did was because a realtor said she had a veteran that needed a VA loan. And she said, "Do you know how to do that?" And inside I said, "Holy moly, I don't know what I'm doing with this." And I said, "Well, no, I don't, but I will learn and I will figure it out so that we can help this veteran use the benefit." And
Right.
so not knowing it and being fairly new, I reached out to people to ask questions, and I reached out to a wholesale rep and said, and the wholesalers are the people who sell us the loans. And I said, "Hey, I need to do this loan for this veteran. Will you hold my hand through this?" And she said, "Sure." And she handed me a book. And that was as far as it went. I got no more than that. And, you know, so it's like, okay, you don't want to screw this up for the realtor, for the veteran, for anybody else in the transaction. So
Right.
I limped my way through it. We got the veteran into their home. And once I had gotten through it, I realized that, okay, it's like every other loan in the sense that it's a loan. The process is the same. You're moving down the track, but there are extra moving parts. And at that time, I looked around and said, even me trying to find help, I couldn't find anybody that could help me because they really didn't know it. It didn't come up very often. And I went to underwriters and they're like, "I have this little cheat sheet I keep on my computer if it comes up, but I really don't know."
Right.
So I had been on some training. I think it may have been with Joe Stump, and they were talking about, you know, you can't do every loan. And if you're on the freeway and every car is going by you and every car is a potential loan, could you do all those loans? Not really. But what if you could handle all the loans just on one off ramp?
Right.
And specialize in something? And that clicked with me. And I thought back to what I had done here and thought, okay, this is a great loan. It helps a lot of people. I should learn more and get more in depth.
Right.
I started to go that route, and then the market fell apart. 2008, 9, 10,
Right.
11, it just fell apart. And now you're hanging on by your fingernails and doing whatever you can. And so specializing, I didn't have a breadth of clientele that I could just specialize. When I came out of that, I got a phone call from a lady that said that I had been influential in her career. I had
Wow.
posted something on Loan Toolbox, and I didn't know who she was, and I didn't remember what it was, but apparently I had answered something she had posted. She had decided to focus on veterans out of Minneapolis, Minnesota,
Mm.
and people were trying to hold her back. And I had commented about, people don't let people hold you back on what you want to do. And she said, Andrew, this is what I'm doing now. I'm focused on veterans. I'm helping veterans almost exclusively. Why don't you come out and see what I'm doing? In 2 weeks, I jumped on a plane. I went to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where she was at the National Association of County Veteran Service Officers Conference. I watched what
Wow.
she did. Now come full circle all the way back. And then I started to focus. I said, this is going to be what I do. Today, I am the state of California's County Veteran Service Officer subject matter expert on VA home loans, and I train them 3 times a year.
Wow.
And I've been a speaker at the national conference as
Oh
well. So
my gosh.
it's kind of funny how all that comes about, but that's
Yes.
how it started
Right.
with that focus.
That's incredible. And what a great story too of, just having an influence, not having a knowledge as far as who you're having an influence on. I think begins so many journeys for people. And had she not reached out to you to thank you for having an effect on her, and then you going out and being able to find out what she was doing and building all this to be able to grow in your capacity, that's phenomenal. And I think that's what people need to do as far as being open to those opportunities. It's just kind of a side conversation, not just about VA, but having that and having that knowledge, to be able to go out and to be the individual in the entire state of California that can lead the training and information. Just speaks so much to your knowledge and what you've been able to do with that. And that's what, that's what people are looking for. When they're looking for a specialist, they want to know, hey, I'm working with somebody that knows what's going on, because, VA has been around for a long time as far as the VA home loan benefit, right? How long has it been around?
Oh, since the 40s.
Yeah.
It was after World War II that it was created. I don't remember the exact year, but it was created to help people get into homes after World War II.
Right.
Um,
And part of it too, it's one of the few loan programs that consistently provides 100% financing available for qualified veterans or for those who have served, right?
100%, and 100% ties into everything here. Here's one of the things about VA, was that there was limits to how much somebody could buy or refinance without equity in the property. So when we talk about equity, we usually use that term for a refinance, which you can do with VA. But even buying a home, it was, okay, what is the VA county loan limit that I can buy a house and not put any money down? And there was always these limits on how high you could go. You could always do it above it with a down payment.
Right.
Well, as of January 1st of this year,
Of
with the
2020.
2020, the the Blue Water Navy Vietnam Veterans Act,
Wow.
as part of that, stated that if you're active duty and you've qualified, been in long enough in active duty, or you're a veteran, and you have full entitlement, and full entitlement meaning if you have never used the benefit before, you would have full entitlement, or if you've never suffered a foreclosure or short sale on a VA loan, or you don't currently have a VA loan, if those things don't exclude you and you have full entitlement, then you can buy whatever you want with no limit,
Wow.
with no money down. Whatever
Oh
you
my God.
qualify for, there's no down payment required anymore as of January 1st of 2020.
Wow. So when you're okay, so no limits, 100%, no limit. Obviously, there's some qualifications as far as making sure you haven't done certain things. So you need to be credit worthy in order to qualify.
Yep.
And in California, that's huge because there definitely are some properties in California, whether in Sacramento or LA or San Francisco, certainly, that would be above that county limit. And so jumbo loans available, right?
Yes, and here, quite frankly, so we knew that this act was coming. I have a doctor who waited until after January 1st to buy a $1,072,000 home and put
Wow.
no money down. He had the money. He was selling another home. He could have put money down, but the benefit allowed him not to have to. And we just closed another one in Fairfield, California last week. And yesterday I had a call from somebody who wants to buy in Alameda County for $1.8 million, and they will not have to put a down payment down. They're allowed to, they could put 20% down, they could put 50% if they want, but they don't have to, which means that they can keep that money in their bank account, they can fix up the house, they can do whatever they want because there's no down payment requirement.
Wow. That is amazing. So huge opportunity. That's a recent change. And, you know, if you're not working, and this is so important, I think, for real estate agents as well. If you have somebody that's out looking at a home and maybe, you know, they're not sure as far as how much they qualify for, especially in the jumbo, because we know jumbo market has really fallen apart lately, that there's not as many loan programs available. So knowing that they have the opportunity for VA, number one, is important. So having that knowledge that you can share with them is important. And then the second thing is, you know, finding out whether or not they're qualified. So what should real estate agents really ask everyone that they're talking to, whether it's a buyer or a seller?
That is so simple. It's so simple for a real estate agent. You really don't want to use the word veteran when you're talking to people, because there's a lot of people who have military experience who do not consider themselves a veteran. And
Yes.
if you ask them, are you a veteran? They're going to say no. It's very simple. When I teach my classes to realtors, I say, ask everybody who you sit down with, hey, did either of you serve in the military? Or do either of you have any military service? And when they say, well, yes, my wife served, your response is, did you know that you could use your VA home loan benefit on this house?
Right.
And I guarantee you at least 50% of the time, they're going to say, no, I can't because, or no, we can't because. And I don't care what they put in the because, in all my experience in doing all these loans, 99 times out of 100, they're going to be wrong. When people tell me they can't use it, they end up being wrong because there's all kinds of fallacies and myths based on, some of it was old ways it was done, or things that people projected on this loan program on that it's too hard for this and it's this and that.
Right.
But for an agent, just asking the question up front is the qualifier. If they say, no, we didn't serve, then you move on. If they say, yes, we served, did you know? And when you don't even have to know all the answers, but I'll tell you what, you mentioned the jumbo and the product with the jumbo, problems with the jumbo product. For a VA loan, if I qualify somebody under VA jumbo versus conventional, I can qualify a veteran for almost 25% more purchase price under this program than I could on a conventional.
That's
VA loans, it's amazing. And what's very cool is in the jumbo world, the debt to income ratios are way down here.
Right.
The VA is up here, so we can qualify for more that way. Conventional, we have to have all kinds of money in the bank when we're done. Reserves we have to have, right? So
well, even some, depending on, I heard Wells Fargo, if you want to do a jumbo loan, they ask you to put $1 million in the bank before they'll even consider doing anything with you.
It could, depending on what it is. And so there's just we have the broadness of the VA guidelines
right.
that we use on the jumbo, and it's just so much easier qualifying. I mean, the bankruptcy requirements, you have to be 7 years, foreclosure, 7 years out of a foreclosure in a jumbo conventional loan.
Right.
We could be 2 years out of a foreclosure in VA and get it done.
Right. So, you know, I think having that knowledge is so important, Andrew. So, you know, for our real estate agents, for our consumers that are out there, looking for someone who is very knowledgeable about the VA home loan, you know, what it takes to get the certificate of eligibility, all those things. You know, you're a certified veterans loan specialist, right? You're a certified VA instructor. So not only do you know everything that you need to about VA, but you're also able to instruct other people. Tell me about some of the veteran organizations that you speak at and are able to advise them on the VA home loan benefit.
You know, that varies because I've gone the California Army National Guard. I've spoken at their retirement seminars. The Army Reserves, I've spoken with their retirement seminars. Of course, the California Association of County Veteran Service Officers, and then the individual counties have brought me in to do individual trainings.
Right.
I've done talks for companies like Hewlett Packard. I've been to them twice to talk to their veterans organization. to SMUD, which is our local electric utility here, Sacramento Municipal Utility District. I've spoken with them twice, and other companies. And then, of course, the real estate offices. I do trainings for them so that people can just be educated, because a lot of times the entry into a loan is through the real estate agent, right? That's their first foray. And so the more people that can be educated, the better. And quite frankly, there's a lot to know in this loan. You know, I tell people all the time that, you know, a loan is a loan, it seems like, until it's a specialty loan. And it's kind of like, you know, if you drive a Tesla and something breaks, you could go over and see your Honda dealer and say, can you fix my Tesla? Well, if you're a Tesla owner, you probably know that, you know, a Tesla is totally different than a
Yeah.
Honda, and you need a specialist that knows what they're doing.
Right.
There's a lot more moving parts and a lot more opportunity in this loan program. So somebody who specializes in this, it really is a big deal. And not to toot my own horn, but within our company, well, first of all, I'll say that less than 10% of the US population will ever serve in the military, and less than 10% of that 10% will ever use the VA home loan benefit. So the opportunities to actually work on a VA home loan for either an underwriter or a loan officer are very slim. They don't come up all the time.
Right.
In our company, less than the average VA loan that a loan officer will do in a year is 1.5. Okay. I will do 150 VA loans this year.
Yeah.
And they're doing 1.5 per year. So, and it's, again, it's not to toot my horn about it. It's just that when you do something over and over and over again, you know, there's more knowledge that you gain, and less time spent wondering.
Right.
You know, and even in what we do, even though I have these certifications and I get continuing education and I teach classes, I find other people who are teaching classes because we all learn from each other.
Right.
I belong to this nationwide Facebook group of people who specialize in VA loans because we all help each other there. So it's an ongoing education to stay proficient at this loan. I go to the VA Lender Conference every year for the last 5 years. This year would have been the 6th year, except COVID, you know, knocked it out and it didn't happen. But when you go to those things, I can literally pick up the phone and call somebody at the head of VA lending and get help from the government on helping with the home loan if I have a question with something.
Wow. Because you've been at this for so long.
Long time.
To be able to do that. So I think that that's very important. You know, one of the things that really comes so true, and it's so apparent in having a conversation with you, Andrew, is that of a servant spirit that you have in wanting to serve and wanting to help. And I think that's something that we don't often see. And so I think that's important for those of you who are watching this, to be able to really know who you're doing business with. And oftentimes people don't realize how much that has an impact on being able to make a difference. And so I thank you for that. And I know for your business partners and for those organizations who have you come back and speak time and time again. I mean, Hewlett-Packard is a huge organization. So to be able to go in there and to deliver training and information on the VA home loan benefit is a huge honor to be able to do that. So, so hats off to you. But I know that comes from you and who you are. And I think that's important for people that are looking to do business with someone, to know who you are doing business with and to be able to know that they do serve. And even though you did not personally serve the country, I know your father served, and I think your son is serving or has served as well, right?
My youngest son, Matt, is actually, he is serving at Fort Bliss in Texas. He's a warrant officer and he's a Black Hawk pilot. So he started in the California Army National Guard and worked at National Guard headquarters. He deployed to Afghanistan with the California Guard. And then when he came back, he decided to go the warrant officer track and finished a 2-year stint in Japan and is now at Fort Bliss doing that. I'm very proud of him. And my older son is also in Texas and he's in technology and very, very successful. But you know, my ties to the military started before my son actually decided that he was going to join the military for a career. And it just added to my commitment to everybody that we try and serve. And quite frankly, I feel like I can never get the word out enough to people about it. And I tell people all the time, especially when I'm talking to the military groups. You know, to the realtors, it's a little bit different. To the military groups, my point to them is just ask. Don't assume that you can't do this loan.
Right.
Because as soon as you assume and you don't ask the question, you don't get it.
Right.
So just ask, can I use it? And then we can tell you, if you can't use it, then you can't. No big deal. But you aren't, the answer is no if you don't ask, really.
Right. It's always no, no matter what. Yeah. Well, and I think having that education is so important. So I'm going to wrap this up and make sure that, first of all, people know how to get a hold of you. And for real estate agents that are listening, how they can have you, you know, be able to come in and just share some information for them, or for companies as well that are listening. You know, I think it's a great opportunity, whether it's a virtual meeting, which is a lot of what we're doing right now, to be able to let people know about the benefits. Interest rates are low. If they are on a VA, they can do a VA refinance, and you can talk about that in another video. But I mean, just all those opportunities. But the first thing is asking. So I love that. And so I'm going to ask you to leave with how we can get a hold of you. I want to thank you so much for your information. I truly appreciate the opportunity to sit down and chat with you. You know, I'm going to put information on there. Obviously, Folds of Honor is important to me, and I know you serve a lot of veterans organizations. So we're going to have some information in there on our virtual chapter that we're starting with Folds of Honor that's focused for the mortgage and real estate industry. So we'll have some information available on that, and then also your information on how people can reach you, Andrew.
Well, the easiest way, you know, if you forget email addresses and all that stuff, VAloansofcalifornia.com. So VA loans plural, California is all spelled out, VAloansofcalifornia.com. All my contact information is there.
Perfect.
The company itself, my company is WealthWise Mortgage Planning. So when you see that and you see the two logos, you know we're one and the same. It's just a specialty website where people can find me.
Yeah.
And my email is andrew@wealthwisemortgage.com. The phone number is 916-932-7160. And know too, when you call here, the team that's here, Cindy Turner and Kim Ball and Jennifer Isles, we're all here to help everybody. With the exception of Jennifer, we're all licensed loan officers. We all have a lot of experience. Everybody can help. And we have a passion for doing this. So I hope that even if we are, and I put this out there to the realtors too, especially, that even if we're not the ones doing the loan for you, if you get a deal referred to you and it's VA and you're the listing agent or you're the buyer's agent and you don't understand really and you're a little nervous, call us. We will coach you through it. And even if something comes up and you think it's not right with your lender and that you feel like maybe they're not doing something right, I can let you know if it seems right and direct you back to them. We don't have to be doing the loan. The biggest thing for me really is to make sure that that veteran is treated well and gets to use the benefit. And if a lender is trying to do the benefit and trying to help, that's more than the person who's turning you away and turning you to an FHA loan that is much, much more expensive than doing VA. So use this as a resource, please, please.
Yeah, see, and there's that servant soul I was talking about. Well, very good. Well, Andrew, thank you so much for joining me. For those of you who are watching, thank you so much. And make sure and reach out to Andrew.
Andrew, thanks so much. Thanks for having me.